Here for the moment that we've all gathered for tonight. And this will go rather quickly, but we want to recognize the people and organizations and the businesses who have made a positive impact in the Custer area through continued dedication and belief. These results are nominated by you guys. We don't sit behind our desk at the chamber. The board doesn't sit there and submit all these nominations. They're nominated by the community. Then we have a committee that has the difficult task of going through these and trying to pick out winner, chicken dinner, right? It's tough stuff. I don't have anything to do with the vote, but I can tell you the people that do. No, I'm not going to do that. I saw big eyeballs all of a sudden. What is so proud for me as I stand there and we all talk about it is all the nominations that came in, guys. It's crazy. There's a lot of great people in this area. We're a small community. I worked for a chamber that we were the size of Rapid City, basically. We didn't get this many nominations for people. It was absolutely fantastic. So everybody, if you get a chance to go home and you don't want to hurt yourself, pat yourself on the back, because that's fantastic. And these awards tonight, these recognition, these plaques, are made by one of the most innovative companies that we've ever dealt with. We want to give a big thank you to Pat and Kathy Mack of Lasting Impressions Unlimited. Stand up, you two. You're going to flip out. You're going to say, wow, I've never seen anything like it. They're really cool because we want this to be a special occasion and a memory forever in your lives. So, don't be afraid tonight to stand up and show your support, because every single one of these nominees and every single one of these recipients deserve your gratitude. They are the people that give Custer the then, the now, and the future. And my eyes get watery when I talk about it. I've never been involved in the community so tight as the Custer area is. So without further ado, we are going to ask the first presenter to come up for the community service recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mayor Jared Custer.
Good evening. It's an honor to present this year's Community Service Award. The recipient of this award has done some serious, I got some feedback.
A little closer.
Has done some serious service for the Custer community. So sit back and relax while we touch on just a few of the organizations they have poured their heart and soul into. The recipient of this award is a founding member of the Custer Food Pantry Board of Directors, founding member of the Storehouse Board of Directors, promoter and facilitator of the mission of the Storehouse, where they volunteer their time and talents on a regular basis, demonstrating wisdom, a business mindset, a hard work ethic, and spirit of mercy. They have been seen hauling hundreds of pounds of potatoes, weighing and sorting food, showing up for PR photos, collating newsletters, distributing bags of food, sorting coats, taking meeting minutes, working through difficult board decisions, painting rooms, and on and on and on. Whatever the job, they show up with a can-do attitude, cheer, and encouragement. When nobody else shows up, you can bet this person will. The recipient of this award has been deeply involved in the life of Custer Lutheran Fellowship for over 40 years. They have served on the church council, served as Sunday school superintendent and treasurer for over 20 years. Currently, they are actively involved in the social ministry team, which works with partner ministries in Pine Ridge, Rapid City, Guatemala, and Colombia, as well as coordinating many local service projects. They are also currently volunteering as one of the financial secretaries and is a go-to person when something important needs to be done at the church. When it comes to family, this person's tremendous work ethic and kindness have been a blessing to her children, grandchildren, and siblings. Not only did they welcome their mother into her home during summers, but also showed great compassion and devotion.
They're on. Nothing I can do.
But also showed great compassion and devotion as a loving helper during her final years. Dedication to children and grandchildren are very evident in this recipient as they work to maintain a strong relationship with each of them. This person has always been a world-class sibling who guided all of their younger siblings into full adulthood with an open door and an open heart. Just ask much younger brother. We really could go on and on, but lastly, this year's recipient of the Community Service Award has earned this title time and time again with over 19 years of service to the citizens of Custer City. This person has served on the Custer City Council since 1997 and is currently serving as our council president. The city of Custer City cannot even begin to thank this person for their tireless efforts, numerous talents, keep cool demeanor, and being also our go-to person on the Custer Council. Karen Schleining, your deep devotion to family, consistently reliable service to everything you were involved in, not only makes you very deserving of this award, but also makes Custer a better place. Thank you for being you and touching the lives of every person you meet. If you'll please come up to receive your award.
This whole thing all started because I wanted to know why my street wasn't paved. Thank you very much. It means a lot. And all it takes is one volunteer to make a difference. So I urge you to volunteer for something too, because you'll be the recipient. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm Veronica Schmidt. I'm the president of Custer Regional Hospital, and I have the distinct honor of presenting the Community Team Award tonight to a very deserving, wonderful group of women that I have come to appreciate and love dearly as friends. It was Helen Keller who famously said, "Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much." That quote can be used to describe the work that the Mammal or Bus Task Force has done to benefit our community. This April, the task force successfully accomplished what it set out to do years ago, making digital mammography a permanent reality for the women of Custer. The service is the result of the diligent and persistent grassroots effort of Diana Peterson, Patty Ressler, Lindy Manlove, and Sue Swartz, in partnership with Joni Hill, the radiology manager at Custer Regional Hospital, and the generous donors from the Custer area. The group tirelessly worked to gather data and statistics, as well as raise funds to make digital mammography services available, not only to the women of Custer, but also women in all of the Southern Black Hills and surrounding communities. In their research, the small task force found that of the 6,700 women age 40 and over living in the surrounding three-county area, 75% of them had never had mammograms. That wasn't acceptable for these women. That figure made them work even harder to make this a reality. Once Custer Regional Hospital received its machine, the goal was made to perform 300 mammograms in a year's time. That goal was met 6 months early. 17 of those mammograms were given to women who have never before had one. Even with the machine in its new home at Custer Regional Hospital, the task force continues to promote services and education about breast cancer. Just last weekend, Mammal Bus hosted its first annual fun run, which saw over 60 men and women and raised nearly $1,000. Mammal Bus has also partnered with other organizations as a way of continuing education and spreading the word. This group of women is the epitome of community and service. The Mammal Bus Task Force has been an inspiration to us all and are most deserving of this Community Team Award. Please come forward, ladies.
I just have a quick quote that kind of sums up what our group has been going through for the past several years. It says, "When we dream alone, it's only a dream. But when we dream together, it's the beginning of a new reality." Thank you all.
I'm here in place of Linda, who was going to be doing this award, but her back surgery got the best of her tonight, so she asked me to take her place. She's doing well, just overdid it today. Government Employee Award. For a year and a half, this individual was instrumentally involved with the National Park Service's Voices of Our Youth project. This project involved the 5 national parks in our area and the students in 4th, 5th, 8th grade and the 4th grade students from Rocky Ford School. At the beginning of the project, Hank Friedel brought together personnel from the 5 national parks in our area, the school administrators, and the project organizers. Linda was one of those. During this meeting, this individual was enthusiastic, bringing ideas for financial assistance and how the national parks could be involved. Once the project was underway, this person was the national park representative that visited nearly all the classrooms explaining the history and purpose of the National Park Service. How the students could pursue a professional in the National Park Service, and why the parks are such a valuable part of our country. When the students visited Mount Rushmore, this individual was our tour guide and held the attention of the 30 5th graders all day long, presenting each student with a Junior Ranger pin at the end of the visit. At the community program of Voices of Our Youth, he arranged for each student to receive a 100th anniversary pin and was the MC for the evening. During this project, he interacted with over 150 students and numerous adults from the community, schools, and National Park Service. His organizational skills, enthusiasm, and knowledge of the National Park Service helped this project to be the success that it was. I'm going to interject here, by the way, you can buy the book, the CD, etc. of this. Just contact Hank Friedel, and it's online. So, Custer students and community members now have a much better understanding of the national parks in our area and the entire National Park Service because of this individual's valuable assistance with the project. We might also mention that this individual is also very involved in the community, a solid community member. Custer Lutheran Fellowship has had the privilege of having this individual on the CLF church board for several years, having served as president. Over the years, he has also volunteered as an umpire for baseball and is on the chain gang for the high school football. It's our pleasure and honor to work with, I did some edits here, the Assistant Chief of Interpretation at Mount Rushmore, Mr. Blaine Quartermeyer.
The story here is simply the power of saying yes. Hank asked, and we all saw the best opportunity to help children learn about the Park Service and understand why it's so important. It's just the power of saying yes. That's all we have to do. And I'm done.
Ran in South Dakota in 1991, followed by another store in Canton in 93 and Chamberlain in 95. They opened their 4th store in Custer in 1999 before making Custer their residence in 2001. The original Custer location was 529 Mount Rushmore Road, currently the Beckett Borough. They have been in their current location since 2004. In 2015, they opened a new store in Box Elder. They have since sold 3 of the stores and currently own and operate Custer and Box Elder. These guys exemplify outstanding customer service in our community. If you're not quite sure what you need, they'll find it for you. If they don't have it, they'll bring it down from their other location or find other means to get it. I've personally experienced this on many occasions. My maintenance staff frequents the store often, sometimes too often. And we get into things for the free, fresh, hot popcorn they pop daily. Or maybe that honey story from the weekend. All joking aside, the owners and staff set the standard for the one thing we all strive for in our businesses, and that's demonstrating the best customer service in the industry. What a great asset to our community. This year's Business of the Year is Custer True Value.
These are very nice. I mean, they really are. Back in 1991, I came home one day and told Carol I quit my job, let's buy a hardware store. She said, great. I had been on the road 5 days a week, and now we were going to be together 7 days a week. And, it was a little rocky to start with, but I had been out in the hills, out in Custer, many, many years before that, and it was always a dream to come out here and open up a business and live here. And like Dave Ressler said earlier, he said, you guys should give yourself a pat on the back. You're all excellent people, excellent community, and we just love to be here. So, thank you.
Individual of the Year for 2016 is not only a tremendous role model for young people in our community, but was nominated in large part because she never says no when someone needs her help. If you haven't seen her in action, you haven't been looking. From covering the school board as a journalist to volunteering as a member of the Parks and Rec community, there isn't much that this year's winner hasn't done to make Custer a better place for all of us. She's the president of the Zonta Club, a member of the PEO sorority, and a Gold Discovery Days royalty coordinator, just to name a few of the examples of giving back to our community. And despite all of the hours spent writing stories and taking photographs around town, she still finds time to donate her free time to charitable projects like Mammal or Bust. She's a huge animal lover. As one of her coworkers put it, as busy as she is, she still finds time to pet sit for half the county. For this reason, she was chosen as a senior project mentor for a project that is raising money for the Humane Society. A hard worker? Definitely, but also incredibly smart. She graduated from Grace Christian School in Michigan, receiving the school's top honor, the Administration Award. She's also been recognized for her hard work at the Custer County Chronicle, including the award for Best Young Journalist for a weekly newspaper in the state of South Dakota. Please help me in congratulating this year's Individual of the Year, Carrie Moore. I'm sure I'm really red right now. This is great. The whole reason I took this job was so I didn't have to be in photos, and it's not working very well. I'm really speechless. I don't know what to say. That never happened, so we're all witnessing history here.
Thank your bosses.
Yeah, I just guess I'd like to say thank you. I'm sure there's a lot more people here who really deserve this, but I'm really appreciative and thank you. And my parents are here. You guys told me you were going to Bimble to eat dinner. Liars. By your daughter.
So I wouldn't blow this.
All right, good one. Okay.
You've heard me mention before that Custer is blessed to be surrounded by visionary accomplishments. It was the dream of Dylan Robinson to create a granite memorial that would attract tourists, or as we call them today, guests or visitors, to our state. Well, his original location in the Needles didn't prove suitable for a carving. Another mountain nearby would, and Gutzon Borglum would turn that dream into a reality, sculpturing what today we know as South Dakota's #1 visitor attraction, Mount Rushmore National Memorial. Then in 1947, another man arrived on scene, Korczak Zukowski, with a saying that would drive his project from day one: never forget your dreams. It was in 1948 when Korczak would begin the undertaking of creating the largest mountain carving in the world, Crazy Horse Memorial. With his passing in 1982, his wife Ruth would carry on the dream until her death in 2014, and now the extended family continues to carry on that dream. Or it could be Peter Norbeck's vision of creating a state park that would last the test of time and be here for countless generations to enjoy. Today, his dream has become one of the largest state parks and one of the most visited state parks in the nation. Each of these individuals had a vision, they had a dream, and the passion to make it happen. Our own Custer community is blessed to have visionary individuals who too had a dream and the passion to make things happen. And like Norbeck, Korczak, and Borglum, their dream was not accomplished overnight. It takes an ongoing belief in your dream and the perseverance to make it happen. And in the words of Korczak, never forget your dreams. And this couple started with a dream and have stayed connected with it ever since. It was in 1985 when they moved to the Custer community that they noticed a lack of activities for our youth. And it was this perception that got their wheels turning. Gene and Linda Fendel had been a part of the Wise Men and International Service Club to the YMCA, and they had the idea to see if other volunteers could charter Custer's own branch under the Rapid City YMCA direction. The Rapid City YMCA agreed to use their insurance, and on August 23rd, 1986, the first step in their dream was realized. Starting with just $400 in funds, Korczak had just $174 when he began his dream. The Fennels moved on, working with community leaders, organizing committees that shared their vision and dream. And in January of 1990, the organization became an official branch of the Rapid City YMCA. In its some 30 years of operation, the Y has offered a number of programs and events, from lawn care to adult and community education, to concerts, to swimming lessons, to dance, to gymnastics, and so very much more. Linda Fennel said, when I go to the Y in the morning, it's like opening a Christmas present every morning I go there. It's my home. Gene said, it is such a blessing to the community. Being able to have something like this, as well as the support we get from the community. Fennel went on to say, I'm elated that we've been able to continue something that is so positive for our community over the past 30 years. To Gene and Linda, I would say, the Custer community is blessed to have individuals like yourselves who have a dream and a vision and the passion to bring it to life. But like all dreamers, there is always room for one more dream. And the Fennels, and for the Fennels, it's all been about the Custer community. They both are involved in their church, and in particular with the youth ministry. Linda, a retired teacher, continues to be involved with the school with Read Across America campaign, visiting classrooms to read to students. Many of us have seen her dressed up as Cat in the Hat and Sam I Am, encouraging our youth to be involved in reading. And recently, Gene has been keenly involved in the newly developed Custer Economic Development Council. They are both huge supporters of the arts and anything to help develop and educate our youth and the overall growth, development, and enhancement of our Custer community. It is people like Gene and Linda Fennel who make our community a great place to live, and it is my distinct pleasure to present to them the President's Choice Award.
I just want to quickly point out my name tag for the Custer Economic Development. Thank you, Max. Nicely done. In Linda's absence, I'd like to share a little bit that age, we're both to that age, where we're talking about our next step. Where do we go from here? See a lot of people that hit the big RV, hit the road. That's not us. I think Holiday Inn's got that covered. They also have breakfast. Our children live in New York City, Copenhagen, and Alaska. Yeah, we could spend time there. But what we're doing right now is we're designing our one-level living home to build in Custer. This is home. It has been for 31 years. Ever since Casimir Ziolkowski invited me back to help get Crazy Horse in the ass and get it going. It's been our home. It will continue to be our home. And you're all of our family. Thank you.
Julie Brazell, and this is Dee McCarthy, and we both work at Custer State Park. And we have the honor to present the Lifetime Achievement Award to one very deserving and amazing individual. This person has devoted countless hours to many organizations that promote tourism. Over the years, he has worked closely with South Dakota Department of Tourism and has been involved with Custer Area Chamber of Commerce for over 32 years, and serving on the board of directors for numerous terms for the Rapid City Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Black Hills Badlands and Lakes Tourism Association, just to name a few. He has invested a lot of time and energy into making Custer State Park a huge part of the tourism industry in South Dakota. He has worked very hard at building the shoulder season, working with area attractions, area chambers of commerces, and South Dakota tourism to promote the state of South Dakota. He often says, if we can keep the visitors here one more day, everyone benefits. What's good for the park is good for the hills. A great example of this is the Buffalo Roundup. Back 25 years ago, it had maybe 200 visitors and guests, and now we host 21,000 people. The Buffalo Roundup was a one-day affair back in its early days. Now it is a 3-day event, bringing people to the Custer area and the Black Hills from across the country, and a lot of international guests to spend time and money throughout Custer and the Black Hills area. He has served Custer State Park and the state of South Dakota in this role for 40+ years. His vast knowledge of Custer, the Black Hills area, Custer State Park, and the tourism industry as a whole in South Dakota is beyond comprehension. His enduring devotion to South Dakota's tourism industry is noticed and appreciated by all who have the honor of working beside this caring, thoughtful, compassionate, and very generous individual. Craig Pugsley is the Visitor Services Program Manager for Custer State Park, as you all know. He has strived for excellence in hospitality and customer service and has consistently exceeded customers' expectations. Not only has Craig been instrumental in always giving great customer service trainers and speakers for the entire staff at the park, from the permanent, seasonal, and volunteer staff, but for all people in the Black Hills working in the tourism industry. Everyone benefits when Craig's involved. Craig's motto always has been, treat our guests as you want to be treated. Customer service has always played a huge role in Custer State Park receiving the George S. Mickelson Award 2 times, and that is because of the one and only Craig Pugsley. The City of Custer, the Custer Area Chamber of Commerce, the State of South Dakota, Custer State Park, and the South Dakota Parks and Recreation Department is very fortunate to have this leader on their team. Craig Pugsley has given tireless and outstanding contributions to the state's visitor industry. He has an unending passion in his blood for tourism and the state of South Dakota. He has been a longtime driving force promoting South Dakota tourism from his home area in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Custer, in many realms, is known as the hospitality hub of the South Dakota tourism industry. This can be attributed to Craig's devotion and generosity to the state's visitors. Day in and day out, at work or at home, he is very deserving in all areas of this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Has been said by a few other people, you know, for number one, I want to thank, you know, the community and Julie and Dee for presenting this Lifetime Achievement Award to me. It's certainly a humbling experience to receive it, and it's very, you know, heartfelt, sincerely appreciated and heartfelt from the bottom of my heart, so thank you. But it goes well beyond that, and people like us that are involved in different committees and organizations couldn't really do it without the backbone of a great team of people that we get to work with each and every day. And I'm sure all of us that have been in that, the mayors and the chamber directors, the hospital directors, school, you know, you're out there, you know, helping to promote your program, but you have to know that things are being taken care of back at home. And I've been really blessed through the years to be able to work with exceedingly exceptional staff. You know, to name a few, back in the day, Bradley Block, who was our park naturalist for many years and now is the chief of interpretation at Jewel Cave. Julie, her naturalist at Custer State Park. Lydia, our visitor center interpretive manager. Lance Catron, Dee McCarthy, Kara Svoboda. I call on these people all the time, you know, to help out. And I know that when I'm away, that when I come back, the ship will be sailing true and in a straight fashion. So really, to each and every one of you, a very big and heartfelt thank you as well. But the Custer community, as I emulated tonight, has been very important to the lives of Celine and I, and our kids went to school here for a good amount of time. And to be able to work alongside people like Diane Dennis, Gene and Larry Matheson, Jumbo, Steve, a lot of the great, the other chamber board members, you know, past and present here tonight. It's been, you know, a life-changing experience for myself. I have been so enriched by being able to do what I've done with the Custer community and the other boards and committees I've served on. It is a life-enriching experience. I think, like Blaine said, just say yes, go out and do it, get involved. You'll be a better person for it, and the organizations you're working with will be that much better as well. The chamber staff has always been awesome. Dave, Dulcie, and the gang have been incredibly good. You can't find a better customer service guy than Fred on the phone when you call. I think some days I want to say, Fred, it's me. You don't have to. But I can't interrupt him, he's so darn nice. But it's been, you know, it's been just an exceedingly wonderful experience to be involved in the Custer community for as long as I have. And you look too out at the people that really are the bedrock of the community, the small business people, you know, downtown, Charlie Najak, John Carson, you know, Brian Boyer, you know, Flores down on the corner, people that have been invested their lifetime in the community of Custer. Dan Custis being one, Dale Schaefer another. You know, it's just incredible to be able to work with those people and know those people. And as Dave Ressler says, you should always shop local and support our community. And the people that have invested a lot of their time and talent and dollars into the community, like the Mike Tennisons, again, the Boyers, the Regency Corporation, they do that because they believe in Custer. And they believe in each and every one of you. And as Julie did say in the final note, you know, one of the things that I believe the most in is customer service. Because it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, if it's a small business, a big business, whether you have a big marketing budget or not, the one thing each and every one of us can do is to provide exceptional customer service, and that will lead to great word-of-mouth advertising. A few years ago, we did a survey in the park, and the top 2 reasons that people came here was they've been here before, and they heard about it from family and friends. And that is always kind of pivotal in my mind, that if we aren't providing that exceptional customer service, you know, those wouldn't be the top 2-tiered things. So keep up the great work out there. Again, thank you to my team here. Thank you to the entire Custer community. It's very much appreciated.
Brian Boyer and John Stahl of JBJ Enterprises. We have the honor of presenting the first of 2 Pioneer Awards this evening. The Pioneer Award is the highest honor for people who have made a positive impact on the development of Custer. The last time this award was presented was 13 years ago in 2003. This year's participants have been pioneers not only in Custer, but in their chosen profession. They pioneered 5th Street by constructing a building to house their business over 30 years ago that's still in use today and looks like it could have been built yesterday. They have been pioneers by hiring many local residents and becoming one of the largest private employers in the community. They were the first in South Dakota to pioneer new techniques and procedures in their business, and were also the first to use the latest technology in their profession. But most of all, they provided excellent customer service with lots of smiles. Whenever you walked into their office, you were greeted by your name and great, huge smiles. During regular business hours, or maybe an after-hour emergency, Dan and Linda Custis were always there when the community called. Dr. Dan, along with Linda, his dental hygienist, were a team that successfully built one of the best dental practices in the Midwest. They have called Custer home for nearly 40 years. In that time, they raised their 2 sons, Trent and Tyler, watching them excel in academics and activities in school. Today, Trenton is a dermatologist in Dallas, Texas. Tyler is married to Megan with 1 son, Knox Henry, and he is an instructor and coach at USD. They have also been active in many civic, church, and community groups throughout their life in Custer. Because of their contribution to their profession, their business, and their community, they are truly deserving of the Custer Chamber of Commerce Pioneer Award. Please help us congratulate Dan and Linda Custis, true pioneers.
I'll just take a minute, but I just want to tell you how honored I am, and I'm sure I'm speaking for Dan too, to be on this list of awards today. Every time I go to the hardware store, every time I work with Carrie and she writes an article about me, or Charlie's taking pictures of me, just unbelievable talent in this community, and how lucky we all are to be in this little jewel of a place that we call Custer.
We came in 1978, and so a Pioneer Park, we didn't come in a covered wagon. But when we came, we designed a place and we rented for a while, and then we decided to purchase some land where the office is at. There was an empty lot, there was an old building. To the north of it was an old house. To the south of it, where the library's at, was an old home with shanties around it that literally people were living in. And behind that was a welding shop. We decided to buy a lot in the home where our office is presently at. And we came in 78, and probably in 82 we started thinking about it. In 83 we built the building. An individual from the community came to me and said, "What the hell are you doing putting that kind of money into Custer?" And I said, "Because it's my home. It's where I'm going to raise my kids." And where we heard from other people, Craig and other people, we've never regretted that ever. This is our home. All of you have invested in it. I'm appreciative of this award. Thank you very much for all the people that supported us, and thank you very much.
These people have, as Janet said, you know, then, now, and future, they've helped build this community to what it is today. I'm going to be the spoiler alert on this one. I'm going to announce the name right off the bat in this particular write-up. This was nominated by Cozy Dorton, who many of you in this room, I'm sure, know. So this won't be a surprise at the end of the sentence. This person will know right off the bat, and already does, actually, but you'll have to act surprised. Very deserved. Dale Schaefer has dedicated his 40-plus years in Custer to raising his family, owning and growing his business, contributing to education in the Custer schools, and promoting this community and the Black Hills. Let's talk about his family. Dale and his wife, Gloria, loved Custer and were grateful to have their 3 children attend Custer schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, go on to get college degrees, and grow up loving the Black Hills as they did. They supported their children's academic growth and growth through extracurricular activities at school, sports, band, chorus, as well as spiritual growth through church, mentors, and youth groups. Let's talk about his business. The Schaefer's business, before my time living here, was called Western Wood Carvings, now the National Museum of Wood Carving, has not just been the historical preservation of the beginning of the mechanically animated hand-carved wooden figures, but it has also supported the art in the forms of sculpture and carvings. Quality original pieces of art were available. Classes were held for locals and tourists, taught by the carvers on site. Western Wood Carvings, National Museum of Wood Carving, also supported a student in the sophomore year of college who was majoring in the art through a scholarship. In support and promotion of their business and the Custer community, Dale served on the Custer Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and the Black Hills Badlands and Lakes Association Board of Directors. The education part of this. Schaefer's valued education highly, and it has always been significant in their lives. While running Western Wood Carvings, this is written by Cozy, Dale served on the Custer School District Board. It was enjoyable in an exciting time of growth and developing more opportunities for the students. After his term on the board, Dale returned to teaching, something he thoroughly enjoyed. In Custer, he taught mostly math classes, but also some industrial technology and art sessions at both middle school and high school levels. His enjoyment of teaching naturally led to coaching and officiating at both those levels for golf, volleyball, and girls basketball. He also volunteered in some of the activities in which his children were involved. Let's talk about something he might know about: golf. Beyond school responsibilities, Dale's love of golf kept him active with playing and competing. That also led him to serve on the Custer Golf Association Board of Directors, as well as supporting the development of the youth program. In summary, each part of Dale's 40-plus years here in Custer, his family, his business, his belief in education, and his love of golf demonstrates commitment above and beyond the normal responsibilities. This is certainly a pioneer in the area, devoting much of the time and effort to better Custer, to better the community that he has loved in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Schaefer.
In May of '77, my family came out to Custer, and it didn't take me very long to realize that this was going to be my home forever. I have enjoyed the 40-plus years, knowing many of the people that have been recognized and talked about over the course of that time. I remember when we first came, and Lindy Manlove was the chamber exec at that time, and I was on the board, and we would have a very short meeting. We didn't have much money. We didn't have much in the way of many of the things that the bigger communities had, but what we did have was great people. And I look out on the audience here, and I think it has grown, and we have a lot of wonderful people that have come since then to make this the community that it is. I want to thank Dave Ressler for all that he's done, and I look out on my teaching career and I see a lot of my students who now have kids in school, so that means I need to move on. So I look forward to it, but this will always be my home, whether I spend a day here or an entire year. This is where I will spend the rest of my life, in my heart. Thank you all.